I think you listen to yourself really extremely well, so you end up playing really very, very well cello. But maybe there is a way you can open up your ears a little bit more, sort of in collaboration with your partner. It's sort of like, it's not exactly about putting things together, you know, and lining up things. I mean, that's not a problem here. But what I don't always sense is what you're trying to create together as a, you know, total sound or mood or character or whatever it may be. And of course, those kind of need to come from the source, the score, right? And it's one has to look at it for a long time and experience it and think about it and just really trying to figure out, well, what do all these things actually mean? And you have to start hearing, like, the total sound do you want to make together, that it's not, you play in a way a little bit too concentrated on the cello, which of course you should do, and I'm not discouraging that in any way, but I think you can kind of get out of that mode a little bit and just see where, if you hear the total thing, trying to create more of the total picture, where that might take you. So, well, I mean, there are many examples of that, but we can start right away in the beginning. Is this a thick texture for you to play on? Is your line going to be hard to be heard, let's say? No, right? Not at all, in fact. I mean, it's as sparse or as transparent an accompaniment part you can possibly ask for, right? So then I think right away maybe you should think about, okay, projection is not an issue. So then what kind of mood do you want to try to create? What are you going for in the very beginning? Because I mean, it sounded really great. It was very espressivo. Is that what you're going for?
A little bit more uncertain and a little bit hazy.
Yeah, a little hazy. It's sort of riding on, you know, you start at a D minor and all that, and then it keeps wandering a little bit, right? So to get that wandering sense, I wonder if your sound is a little bit too real.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want to try the opening? Just keeping that in mind. Just listen to where the harmony is going or not going, or stalling and just doing a little bit of this business. Yeah? And then it does cadence here, right? But before that, there are many interesting. But this piano, the one after you, feeling a bit more daring about, it's already sort of heading toward somewhere that's not so much wandering. Yeah? So I think that piano probably when you get there, and then soon after you have a crescendo and forte, right? So that piano could be probably a little more of that, the intensity you were doing in the very opening of the piece, maybe. Do you want to try it? So I like that idea, what you were saying. And you know, I was talking to Yoko a little bit about it, but all this, we have so many different editions that we can work from. And I don't know if you're aware of this one, the DSCH one. And a lot of the commentaries are in Russian, so you're going to have to get someone to translate it for you. And I haven't had time to do that myself, so I don't really actually know what it says. But there are examples in the back of obviously what the very first time when it was written, and I think he revised it several times. And it's very interesting because all the fast movements are marked slower. So first movement is started off as moderato rather than whatever we have right now, allegro non troppo, right? And then second movement, which is the scherzo movement, also it says somewhere here, moderato con moto rather than, isn't it allegretto or something? Allegro, yeah. Interestingly, third movement is a little bit faster. It's both indicated largo, but the metronome marking he gives is a little bit faster in the first version. And then last movement, finally, where did it go? Sorry, I'm looking for it here. Oh, that's actually titled Allegretto. Yeah. So it's just interesting to, you know, trace that kind of thing. And he obviously didn't want it to be that way. So he did, you know, later versions have the marking that you're using. But maybe there, you know, if you know that kind of like thinking process of someone, I mean, we all have, you know, thinking processes, right? And somehow maybe the mood, when you know that this was actually written as moderato when he first perceived it, that also gives you some idea about whether it's nervous music or intense, this kind of intense music, or like you said, I really like that word, wandering a little bit in the beginning. Let's try it. Back because then we can both look at it together. That was good. Did that feel okay to you? Sounded good to me. So the way you were accompanying her this time was much better at bar 16. Yeah, you were actually trying to follow her shape of da-ram, ti-ra, the nuance of that, you know, going back and forth with your ti-ra-ra, ti-ra-ra, ti-ra-ra. So it was helpful. Yeah. So that was great. But then take a look. You have a crescendo right away, past that, well, not right away, but, you know, 16, 18 and 19, that area. Yes. 21 and 22, those bars are fairly interesting, isn't it? Look what's going on. You have this but then you are exiting. It's sort of, the phrases are not growing together, but you're sort of like one is coming from under. Again, it's creating this kind of sort of wave of phrasing that's very interesting, I think. You can try to do that a bit more. And then, Yoko, you should probably try to actually do that crescendo and don't be afraid of it at 20. La di da ti, ya ra 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 ra, and you go up to a higher level, and she's still a little bit tia tia. It's louder than the beginning, but it's not at the height of your thing, right? So does that make sense what I just said? Okay, great. And then is that really, do you think of that as a like a new event there?
I guess sort of, because it's like the first introduction of like the triplet pattern.
Yeah, the rhythmic thing is new, that definitely. Do you possibly think that it's a sort of rhythmic intensification of something you heard before? That part of the tune, right? Can I do this? Yeah. And the bass. That's the same thing you just played as a part of the tune. So, yeah, I think it's some kind of intensification, but I don't think it's entirely different music.
I see.
I think there are two basic material to work with, which is the first tune and then the second tune area. But this is sort of like you're working with something that you already know. Yeah. So maybe, I mean, I know you're just accompanying there, but for both of you, the way you bring in that subject, it's not as a totally new thing, random thing, but rather continuation of your thought process or music. You want to try maybe where would be? Yeah. Let's go from her. By the way, you know, those bars we were just discussing in 20, 21, 22, that area, she starts the tune at 16 and then she gets, what happens to her tune anyway? Gets kind of abruptly interrupted, doesn't it? She doesn't get to finish her sentence. And then you go. So you both transition, and then she's on a next, another tonal area, but she doesn't get to actually finish it. You got to finish it, your sentence in the beginning. So there's already, you're moving away a little bit of this, one sentence, next sentence, it's mixing immediately. So can we go from upbeat to 16? Is that okay? Better. Please don't make a diminuendo before. Yeah. Insist on that, okay? And she's making a diminuendo underneath you. Yeah, and it's supposed to have that independence of thought, okay? Sometimes it comes together, sometimes they're working independently to create difference, right? It was good. I found that a little bit out of character, suddenly playing that short there. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I mean, what are we doing here? It's all rising in intensity, right? So maybe you can do a separate stroke that's not short. Suddenly got a little cute. And it's all, at this point, all voices are equal strength, right? You see that? Yeah? The counterpoint is there's no one more important line than the other. It's not swimming anymore, it's direct. You're all working toward the same goal, which is that fortissimo, right? Another thing, as you're peeling off with you're firmly holding your middle ground in terms of register at this point. And what's starting to happen at this point? Can you tell? Your line. happening with your register in the total picture?
It's like decreasing, like it's going down.
It's going down, but what, you're the bass, you know? Yeah. It's going to be a little bit of, you got to put some energy into that, yeah? If we don't have the bass, she's rising and you are going, you have to, it's a child. I love playing bass parts, obviously. And it's got to have not just the volume, but certain kind of density in the sound. That's like, you know, you hear when pianists start going lower and lower and lower onto the end of their keyboard, what that sounds like, right? It's loud, but it's not just the loudness, it's the density and the grandness and just. So as you're going through this passage, I just wonder. That's more bright, but here, certainly these is the first couple notes that you happen to have all accents there. Yeah, probably that goes with that idea of it being dense and heavy. Huh? You want to try that? Or can we try? I guess we go from. If you could just get a little more traction, that would be even. You may have to practice it, so I'm not gonna. But then after that, the fortissimo tune. What do you have that's unusual for a tune to have besides playing fortissimo?
A lot of accents.
A lot of accent. As a matter of fact, every single note is accented. You know, for composers too, to write things like that, I think it takes some effort. They really mean it. So this is not a moment where you want to be lyrical. This has to sound like Granite. Of course, I mean, you still have to be able to sing it, but let's not get, dreamy there, okay? It's sort of like the cold air coming at you when we go outside right now. Sort of blast of energy. Huh? And probably my guess is that you're getting really, really good down bow accents, but maybe not so much good up bow accent. And of course, there are some issues of, what do you call this, the bow distribution involved in there too. And you have to think about it, how to do it, so that it really sounds like every note has that intensity you're looking for. But work hard there. You have to work hard. Think to yourself, every note accented, accentuated. The word means it's like emphasis. I want to spit out every single syllable with intensity. Yeah, it's asking for it. First fortissimo too, right? And that sweet melody, the dreamy sweet melody you started with in the beginning of the piece, it's sort of like turned into a big monster. Huh? Within like 2.5 minutes of your life. That's pretty dramatic, I think. Yeah. You want to try same place one more time, please? And then we'll, actually, I don't think we need to do that. This transition. This is not not that eventful, these notes, but sorry. Especially this is pretty eventful. I don't know what fingering you're doing, and you know, I kind of like that myself. You can try it if you want, but something about that needs to be a little bit more like, because it's totally unexpected, right? Huh? Where is this going to go? The second theme, which should be, if it was a, you know, regular sonata form, it's you're in the wrong key, very wrong key, and that transition has to be made from how you prepare you going into. And then after that, what are we doing? What is your line doing? What do you think of it as? First of all, let's ask the same question. Where are you in the register?
Like the mid register.
No, you're the bass again. She's like kind of high there. Well, she's not high, it's middle for her, but you're actually the bass. Well, actually, everything of the first time, when you play it, it opens up in terms of the register, but it's all right here. And you happen to be on this side of all right here. It's very intimate sounding. So I think, again, maybe if we think about the quality of where you are in the voicing, then it won't feel like you're playing soft. It'll be piano espressivo in that range, which is not a, like, you know, you're not going to be afraid to play fully. It's just that range is very narrow rather than wide, right? And also this is sort of like you're the bass, and you're also what, like you're the motor, right? It's going slowly, but it's still, you're the rhythmic figuration, right? So for me, again, I think the way in which you choose to be free with the figuration has to be in order to help the tune sound good. If it starts just doing whatever it feels like doing, it sort of like loses. I mean, if she did that when you play it with her syncopation, you wouldn't like it at all, I don't think. Here. Bum, 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 bum. You're not going to like that at all. You know what I mean? So help her. Your job is to be the good, solid foundation of both rhythmic motif and the bass. It's a middle range, so it doesn't feel like bass, but in the total picture, when you look at the stacking up of the voicing, you are the bass. So again, I wouldn't play it with that kind of too much of like, I would play it with pianissimo, density, with clarity. But let's get over there. How's that? How about... Let's go from there, okay? She's reclaimed her position there. I mean, what I mean is it's starting to open up in range there. Okay, so let's try the second theme one more time. I'm sorry, but something of that nature where you're treading together and help each other. Okay.
Okay.
From that major?
A tempo. It's too loud. Soft, soft. But you can play soft here. Just don't float the bow so much. Dense. You're doing that really well. Would you play with me there once? Just, I'm gonna play dryly, just so that you can hear where the chord's going. Sorry, that was very bad. You can take time, you can do what you would like there, but where does it need to go? To the next chord, right? So if you idly, I don't know when to, you need to bring in that harmony. So especially if you take a whole lot of rubato or take time, you have to make absolutely sure that the whole purpose of doing that is in order to make the next harmony feel melting, right? So I don't know, I've never been able to find really good fingering for that passage, but you did something really interesting. What you did, same finger, back and forth. Yeah, maybe that's a little bit what's causing, possibly. But maybe that's, you know, if your ear wants to connect that a little bit more across, yeah, with that fingering, that might be possible. I don't know, but I think you have to. It's sort of one of those vocal moments, right? Yeah, but the harmony, it should feel suspended rather than stopped. So apparently we don't have too much time, but. Yeah, another just a small thing. These. Again, your function there is bass. So maybe try to play it with the. It started flying a little bit. Did you feel that both rhythmically and just in terms of strength of the tone? You've got to sort of, you know, as a bass, you've got to basically lay the path for other things to blossom on top, and so you need to play it with a sense of direction is okay, but if it starts going without certain kind of you know, discipline, it gets a little bit, everything starts crumbling a little bit. Yeah? But anyway, maybe just thinking about your part, even though it's mere pizzicato, if you think of it, you maybe play it with a little bit more strength. Maybe not only dynamic, but strength. Yeah, so that would be great. And then there's this part. That's sort of like the, in the whole movement, this picture. It's the most chilling, and I always feel like when I get to this part of the music, the tension is so high. That kind of texture is very odd. You're playing like the triad, both hands, I'm talking about over there, repeated rhythm, and it doesn't open up. And it's sort of maddening, you don't have room. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of like you're holding your breath or just submerged underwater and you want to come up, but you really can't. Maybe that pianissimo is a little like that. It's scary. And save that crescendo exactly until where it says, don't open up earlier. Huh? Then when you when you come out there with a forte, it'll be really amazing kind of release. Yeah? But before that, I think from both of you, I mean the articulation and you two. Be courageous enough not to beautify that line, but it's more like chilling, maybe. Yeah? You want to try it? How do we get in there, though? I don't know how we get in there. It's no good place. Let's just start right there, which is a little odd, but. No vibrato. Try it once. But not pale. It's not non-vibrato because it's doesn't have tension. It's non-vibrato because it has so much tension. Like sometimes like that kind of, yeah. Not beautiful sound. I thought, and it's okay to do that as bowing. Of course, I was doing it too. But you do see. That breaks up that feeling of. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Yeah.